Today, I've just passed my life in the UK exam. Until the past weekend, I was still ranging around 50%. All of those names, at some point, they're all like a huge knot in my head. My points dropped from 20 to 17 to 14. I figured out this way that I can use different AI chatbots to help me revise. And then I eventually stopped asking which chatbot is the best. I will just use them for different purposes. DeepSeek, I said, can you use cultural reference and rhythms and for me to remember it better? Ever since then, all of my mock exams is like comfortably 22, 21 out of 24. And this morning I did like 2. It's all 24/24. So in this video, I'm gonna share how I prepare and how I use ChatGPT and all the other AI chatbots to help me as my study coach. I hope that it helps you to pass the exam too. So life in the UK is when I register for the exam at the end of June. It gives me roughly 18 to 20 days to revise the materials and stuff. I use ChatGPT and Claude. I ask them to do like a Duolingo style revision. So each day I'll just spend 15 minutes to revise the material. Each of them will give me like a knowledge point and then give me 10 questions to revise, and that's about it. And that lasts for, I think, around 10 to 14 days. By the previous weekend, which is the one weekend before I need to take the exams, like 5 days before, I realized I have still a huge chunk of information I haven't really touched upon. I think the most difficult thing is not the history itself. It's like all of those names. The English names just basically means nothing for me. Like I look at the names, they are just like information passing through my mind. All of these names, like right, Robert, Bruce, Vanderborn, Brunel, Hume, Wilberforce, Wordsworth, Lutyens. These words carry like basically zero to no meaning to me. The history in the Middle Ages, like all of those Tudor families, Mary I, Elizabeth I, James I, James II, Charles I, Charles II. I was just like, and with all of those numbers, I was doing all of those mock exams just for repetition per se, but I didn't even register the mistakes and how I should group them together as knowledge. And I keep asking different chatbots about the same mistakes I make, and then I eventually stop asking which chatbot is the best. I will just use them for different purposes. For example, ChatGPT knows me well, has been my personal assistant, chief of staff, like best friend for the past 2 years. And it can always give me the context that some other chatbot couldn't. It remembers my progress and it can help me the best way it can to analyze the mistakes, and also some kind of like a life coach just to help me rest as well. And because people always say that you shouldn't blindly trust on one chatbot, so I have Claude to do a second pass as well, just to see whether those mistakes are real mistakes. And eventually DeepSeek, the most useful way to use DeepSeek is because it knows Chinese very well. So it actually become my Chinese study coach. It can draw the analogy in the Chinese language to help me revise it, which is like just really like life-changing, you know. And I also have Notion as my external study companion, because the record of all the mistakes and all the things that I'm not sure, I will just put it on Notion. With that, I have a complete AI study team to help me pass the exam. And then something new happened with ChatGPT, because they released the ChatGPT work on 9th of July, and that completely changed the game. It can independently work, digest, and also refer back to the older memory. So that really helps me to organize everything, and I always go back to it as if it's my coach. I built this coach chat, and that really completely changed the game. I will ask like, what should I do next? This tonight, tomorrow, and the morning before the exam. And really built a very nice revision plan for me. And because of that, it feels less like I'm just chatting to a chatbot, like a more advanced Google to help me revise the test, but it's more like a handover, a case study to this study companion and say, hey, this is the student here. What can she do better to pass the exam? Because I was really panicking, like until Monday. Today is Thursday. On Monday, I was still doing a lot of the revision of the mock exam online. There's some question bank here. I'm just going to put the link down below, and there's a YouTube channel I also follow for the past 4 days, like diligently. But at some point, even though I'm just doing those exams, we say in Chinese 刷题, which means just like go through the exam again and again. My points dropped from 20 to 17 to 14. I started off at the passing marks, but then at some point, because I was so fatigued, and so tired, I was just rushing to finish the test. So it's 24 questions, multiple choices, right? Most of the time, actually, you can finish them within 10 minutes if you're really calm and going through each questions in a thoughtful way. But I was just like, let me finish all of them. I need to finish as fast as possible. Some of the mock tests I finished in 3 minutes, and those are the worst ones, 14 out of 24, and there's no way I can pass. You need 18 questions, above 75% to pass the exam. And then I realized I shouldn't just go through the questions for the sake of going through it, because the wrong answers are still sitting in my mind. I haven't really got the time to really go through what exactly is the correct answer and really lock them in my head. There's this question about the shadow cabinet. The next question, I did it completely wrong because for the similar concept, I just answered round head, which is not even in the same timeline in the history. It's just because I saw the question that's like opposition, and I just blindly trying to choose the answer quickly. And that's the time ChatGPT was like, you have the basis, you need to stop now. You need to like rest. A rest brain is better for the exam. I stop and I really go back to go through the names. I watch the YouTube channel, I listen to ChatGPT's summary about all the names. And 24 hours, yesterday morning I sent this, whether DeepSeek can help me with a better job. So I have all of those mistakes that I tend to make multiple times. Sometimes I got them right, it's just because of luck. It's not because I remember them. And this is the point that DeepSeek is really brilliant. I mean, I gave the most difficult names and the most confusing facts. DeepSeek, I said, can you use cultural reference and rhythms and, Chinese sounds for me to remember it better? So it came back with this. 七爷萧权，八爷叛教，血腥玛丽烧新教，伊丽莎白拜西妖。Which is basically the history between Henry VII, Henry VIII, Mary I, and Elizabeth I. Henry VII reduced the power of the nobles, 七爷萧权, and 七爷 actually means the seventh boss or something like that in Chinese. And Henry VIII broke with Rome. 八爷叛教. Henry VIII actually established his own church because he wanted to divorce with his wife. But I only need like the active recall. It's just 4 words. 八爷叛教，血腥玛丽烧新教. Mary the first was Catholic, and there's Mary, there's Protestants, and then also her sister. I think Elizabeth the first was also her sister, but it's a different religion. It's very difficult for me to remember. Finally, it's 伊丽莎白拜西妖. Elizabeth I was Protestant and defeated the Spanish Armada. The Spanish Armada, it's the war happened in 1588. I can remember the facts separately, but when I look at them all together, it's just like a knot to me. But here, all of the 2 lines of Chinese like represent all the things I need to actively recall the facts, and I can cross-reference them in my own memory. DeepSeek come up with this 布鲁斯不认输，班诺课本打胜仗. So 布鲁斯不认输 it's very rhyme in Chinese. I can easily go back to that and know that he won the war. And then 班诺课本, DeepSeek come up with this idea. It's like 班诺课本 sounds like 班挪课本. 班挪课本 basically means move the textbook. So he says that they even carry their textbook into the battle and wins. It's completely ridiculous, right? But then it helps me to remember it. At some point I realized, because DeepSeek is very good at this language and they use Chinese, but the test is being conducted in English. So I copy-paste this entire thing back to ChatGPT. So ChatGPT can help me connect back to the English words together. And ChatGPT has a best function that I love to use a lot is the read aloud function. If you go to any of the ChatGPT chat, you can find this small, like a speaker emoji. Press that and you can listen to it. I listen to it multiple times when I'm on my way to the exam and whenever I'm not listening to something else. And it really, really helps. Actually, this morning, I asked ChatGPT, can you generate a story for me so I can memorize all of the mistake points? So it generated a story, Lydia's Breakfast Club in the UK. It starts from the House of Commons, have 650 members. And then the bus takes me to Scotland, and they have 129 members of their parliament and stuff like that. It just gives me such a vivid picture. I think that must be a method that people can use in all studies. I think if you attach some difficult to remember stuff to some daily, like a scene, you would never forget it. I don't know exactly what is the method, but I will find it out and then I'll put it here.
Yes, I'll turn the remaining mistakes into one compact last journey through Britain story. Hack Lydia's final Great British Breakfast Club. Tap read aloud. This is your final strange British story. You are hosting Britain's largest breakfast club inside a red Westminster bus.
Big game changer. Ever since then, all of my mock exams is like comfortably 22, 21 out of 24. And this morning I did like 2. It's all 24/24. So I was very confident. I also want to say, because I'm Chinese, I'm just using it in this way. So you can definitely try it out in your own language and say, if you can help me understand in my own language and culture context how I can revise this better. If I restart the whole plan of revising the exam, what I would do differently is I would start listening to the YouTube channel that they're very focusing on the actual tests earlier, maybe 10 days before rather than 5 days before, because I was really stressed at the end. And I will also start the active recall earlier. I will use ChatGPT and ask it to generate some type of storyline for me to let me go through all of my mistakes. It's my exam. I actually scheduled to have the exam at 11, but they advise you need to arrive 30 minutes ahead of time. And by the time I walked out of the test center, it's 10:45. I received the congratulations email just 2 minutes after, 10:47, 10:46, or something like that. I also met another lady from Finland. She also used ChatGPT to revise the materials. I think with the nowadays, the AI tools, we can figure out a lot of different ways to make our lives better, not just to be controlled by AI. Let it work for you rather than working for the tools. I would try to always think about a different way how I can revise it better, rather than just try to memorize it hard. How I can use analogy, how I can use my own language, and how I can use different chatbots to do different jobs to help me better. I am mainly just very happy, and when I was walking away from the exam center, and it's just a nice day. I feel like I haven't enjoyed a day like this for so long because the exam. It's 5 years in the UK. On a nice day like this, I start to like the life here. But I just mainly want to share how I use these chatbots to help me revise these difficult knowledge. Hopefully it can help you if you're taking the exam. All of the information I mentioned, like including the exam mock link and also the other YouTube channel who's very good at helping you to digest this information, is all in the link down below. This is a one-off video about the exam, but I think it's also part of the series of how I want to use AI to make my life easier, and I want you to be able to use AI in this way as well. If you're new here, I'm Lydia. I'm a banker turned entrepreneur. In this channel, I do a lot of AI for life design video nowadays, and I hope that you can live the life that you want to and build a life that you don't want to escape from. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.